in the Pledge of Allegiance, if you desire. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our first order of business is administering the oath of office to myself and 4 of our council members. So with that, we're joined this evening by Judge Scott Stewart, who will administer the oath.
Okay, if I could have you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Fred Butler,
I, Fred Butler,
having been duly elected
to
the office of City of Issaquah Mayor,
of the City of Issaquah Mayor,
do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of this office as prescribed by law and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
and that I will support and maintain
the
Constitution
Constitution
of the State of Washington
of the State of Washington
and of the United States of America.
and of the United States of America.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I didn't send the lower one, correct? That's me, correct?
Okay, you stand up.
This is me. I know you confused me.
And I'd like to take a couple of minutes for a few remarks. Let me say that I am honored in the trust that the citizens of Issaquah have placed in me. I'm really excited to be the mayor, and I will do my best to represent our citizens and the City of Issaquah with wisdom and compassion. I would like to acknowledge Ava Freisinger, whose long-term service as our mayor has set an outstanding example that I hope to emulate. I'm somewhat sad to leave the council after 14 years, but excited about this new opportunity. And I have enjoyed working with most of the past and certainly all of the present council members during my tenure on the council itself. I would like to thank you for the opportunity to serve with you, and I pledge to continue the good relations that we have established between the administration and the council. You serve a very vital role in our city. I especially want to acknowledge our outstanding city employees, those employees who run the city and keep our city safe. I look forward to working with you and joining your team. I also look forward to the challenges that lie ahead and promise to do my best and to work hard on the behalf of all of our citizens. And with those few remarks, I will turn it back over to Judge Stewart, who will administer the oath of office to 4 of our returning council members. Thank you.
Eileen Barber. you raise your right hand? Repeat after me. I, Eileen Barber,
I, Eileen Barber,
having been duly elected
having been duly elected
to the office of
City of Issaquah,
Council Position Number 3,
Council Position Number 3,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
that
that I will faithfully
and
impartially discharge the duties of this office
discharge the duties of this office
as prescribed by law
as prescribed by law
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my abilities,
and that I will support
and that I will support
and maintain
and maintain
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the State of Washington
of the State of Washington
and of the United States of America.
and of the United States of America.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You get some too.
Can I sign the top?
Yep. Stacy Goodman. I'll have this memorized by number 4. So.
We don't have it memorized.
Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Stacy Goodman,
I, Stacy Goodman,
having been duly elected
having been duly elected
to the office of
City of Issaquah,
Council Position Number 5,
Council Position Number 5,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
and impartially discharge the duties of this office
discharge the duties of this office
as prescribed by law
as prescribed by law
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
and that I will support
and maintain
the Constitution of the State of Washington
the Constitution of the State of Washington
and of the United States of America.
and of the United States of America.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Paula Martz. Have you raised your right hand? Repeat after me. I, Tola Martz, having been duly elected to the office of City of Issaquah, Council Position Number 7, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of this office as prescribed by law and to the best of my ability, and that I will support and maintain the Constitution of the State of Washington and of the United States of America. Congratulations. And Mary Lou Pauley. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Mary Lou Pauley,
I, Mary Lou Pauley,
having been duly elected
having been duly elected
to the office of
the office of
City of Issaquah,
City of Issaquah.
Council position number 1,
Council position number 1.
do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
and impartially
impartially
discharge the duties of this office
discharge the duties of this office
as prescribed by law
as prescribed by law
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability.
that I will support
That I will support
and maintain
and maintain
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the State of Washington
of the State of Washington
and of the United States of America.
and of the United States of America.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
That concludes our first item under special business. We'll move now to Agenda Bill 6753, Election of Council President and Deputy Council President. Pursuant to Council Resolution 89-1, the election of Council President and Deputy Council President is to take place at the first regular meeting of the calendar year. The proper procedure for election of each position is as follows. The chair, which is the mayor, calls for nominations for council president. When all nominations have been made, a motion to close nominations is in order. The chair then calls for a vote on the motion to close nominations, and then council members cast votes for nominees by a show of hands. And I might add, nominees are permitted and encouraged to vote. The nominee receiving the majority vote is declared the new council president. Once that action is completed, then we will move to the election of the deputy council president. So with that the nominations are open right now for council president. Councilmember Martz.
It's my honor and privilege to nominate Paul Winterstein for Issaquah City Council President.
Thank you. Are there other nominations? Is there a nomination to close a motion to close the nominations?
I move we close nominations.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, that motion carries unanimously. Now that nominations are closed, we will vote on the single person who has been nominated. All those in favor of electing Paul Winterstein for council president for the year 2014 signify by raising your hand. That is unanimous. Paul, congratulations. Repeating now the process for deputy council president. Nominations are now open for deputy council president. Councilmember Barber.
Thank you. I would like to nominate Stacy Goodman.
Okay, Stacy Goodman has been nominated for deputy council president. Are there other nominations? Is there a motion to close nominations? I think I see where this is going. Councilmember Winterstein.
I move that we close nominations.
And a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of Stacy Goodman to serve as deputy council president?
Motion.
Oh. All those in favor of the motion to close nominations signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? That carries unanimously. Moving now to the election of deputy council president. All those in favor of Stacy Goodman as deputy council president for the year 2014, raise your right hand. That carries unanimously. Councilmember Goodman, congratulations on your election to be Deputy Council President for this year. Okay. With that, we will now move to audience comments. The guidelines for participation. When recognized, please come to the lectern where the microphone is, where the oaths were administered. State your name, address, the relationship to the city, resident, business person, etc. Our comments are limited to 5 minutes. Typically, at about the 4-minute mark, there will be a reminder that you've got about a minute left. And if you have written comments, you can submit those to the clerk, the city clerk, for our information. And with that, I would ask the clerk, has anyone signed up to speak this evening?
I have one. Mary Moore.
Mary Moore, welcome.
Congratulations, by the way. My name is Mary Moore. I reside at 7804 Renton Issaquah Road, Southeast Issaquah. I am a I'm native to Issaquah, resident, and also have a business here in town. I'll try to make this brief. This is in response to recent news that there might be a possibility of the Anderson House at the Confluence Park possibly being demolished. And I'm just going to read what I have here. As a member of the King County Advisory Council for Historic Preservation, I am here tonight to ask questions and make comments in reference to the park. I was born here in Issaquah and am excited to see the rebirth of downtown, and am just as excited to see the new Confluence Park and its master plan. Issaquah has so much history, and the Issaquah Historical Society does a fantastic job at providing our community with access to our past. I feel we, as a town, can do more, though. We have many historic structures that need to be landmarked and preserved for future generations. As you drive into Issaquah, you see a sign that says, "Welcome to Historic Issaquah." And there should actually be historic buildings and houses that are still standing later down the road. Hence the need for landmarking through the King County Historic Preservation Program. And that brings me here today to a couple questions that I have about the park and the two farmhouses that are there. The Eck House, which is the northern farmhouse, and the Anderson House, which is the southern one. The Anderson House is currently in status of being under pending demolition. A permit was issued in December. I feel that here in historic Issaquah, this is a terrible waste. And my question is, or my questions are, what is the reasoning for the demolition? Has the house been reviewed and inspected by a real preservationist, an expert in the field, someone who really understands historic rehabilitation? Was this consultant qualified? There was a suggestion of moving the house. There was a price of $160,000 to move the house 50 feet. I feel this cost is way too high. The Jacob and Emma Reard House in Sammamish, a King County landmark, was moved for just over $30,000 and was moved 3/4 of a mile. What are the credentials of the moving company that gave this bid? Have they ever moved historic structures? It's not hard, it's not too expensive. You just need to solicit figures from folks that are familiar with historic preservation. And finally, there needs to be a really good and justified reason to demolish a 120-year-old house. Has the city exhausted all and every possible method to save the house? It's a big, big decision. Once the house is gone, it's gone. The park, I think, would look really empty and meaningless without it. It's a vital part of the park. Please consider all options of saving the Anderson House. Help keep Issaquah historic. not just its catalogs of photos, but by helping save and restore our precious old farmhouses, worthy of saving, easily restored, and accessible for future generations to see firsthand what Issaquah was like over 100 years ago. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Is there anyone else signed up to speak? Is there anyone in the audience who desires to speak under audience comments? Anyone in the audience desiring to speak? Third and final call. Anyone in the audience desiring to speak under audience comments? Seeing none, then audience comments are closed, and we will move now to committee and regional reports. So beginning with Councilmember Mary Lou Pauley.
No report?
Councilmember Goodman.
Thank you, Mayor Butler. Land and Shore will meet January 14th at 5 p.m. here in Council Chambers. We have 2 items on the agenda that night. The first is Agenda Bill 6705, and this relates to I-502, which is the recreational marijuana. And the agenda bill is coming back to Land and Shore after discussion at the August 13th meeting where the council decided to, the committee, I think ultimately the council decided to table the discussion until January when the state had finalized regulations under the Liquor Control Board, and the current moratorium expires March 3rd, so an action by the council needs to take place in February. So this is a time for the public to get involved and have a dialogue with the council about the kinds of things they want us to know as we determine what the regulations should be. We also have on our agenda that night Agenda Bill 6766, and that is about a sale of surplus land in Issaquah Highlands, and that is about a narrow strip of property called Tract QE. We will learn more about that at the committee. And that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Marks.
No report.
Councilmember Scher.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening to members of the viewing public, and Happy New Year. The Council Infrastructure Committee will meet tomorrow night at 5:30 p.m. in the Pickering Room of City Hall Northwest, which is now conveniently located on the second floor of that building. I would tell you the exact agenda, but my beautiful new council-issued computer made by our friends in Redmond has ceased functioning on its first day of work. So I'm going to do this from memory, but I believe we have an agenda bill related to the Americans with Disabilities Act and it's a presentation, an informational topic related to ADA that'll probably be about a half hour. We do have an agenda bill. You can look on the website for more information about what that particular bill deals with, and we'll also have some transportation project updates from Public Works Engineering staff. The Eastside Transportation Partnership will also be meeting this Friday, and I'll have an update for the council at our next council meeting on the 21st. That concludes my reports.
Thank you. Councilmember Barber.
Thank you, Mayor Butler. Services and Safety will be meeting tomorrow at 5 p.m. in the Eagle Room. There's only 3 items coming before us. The first one is Agenda Bill 6767, which is an interlocal agreement with Snoqualmie and North Bend. And this is in regards to our public safety answering point and also the records management system. The next one will be 6768. It's a 2014 arts grants. And then the third one is an update from Deputy Chief Tryon on the revised EF&R ILA. And that's 5 p.m. tomorrow.
Councilmember Winterstein.
Thank you. No report.
Thank you. Moving now to the mayor's report. There will be an executive session meeting held this evening to discuss pending and potential litigations under the provisions of RCW 5.60.060, paren 2, paren A. The items are expected to take a total of about 50 minutes. Action anticipated in open session is following the executive session is most likely. We are inviting all community members to a celebration to honor Ava Freisinger's dedication and service as the city's longest-serving mayor. The free celebration will be from 5 to 8 p.m. this Thursday, January the 9th, at the Hilton Garden Inn. Throughout the evening, attendees can sample hors d'oeuvres and share stories. We hope to see you there. Our community is in the midst of exciting changes, and you can help shape our future as a member of the Issaquah City Council. We're seeking qualified candidates to fill a vacant position on the council. It's a chance to get involved in the most important issues facing Issaquah. For more information and to apply, please visit our website at Issaquah, that's issaquahwa.gov. There's also a very interesting video at that website that shows the council in action to stimulate your interest in applying. In addition, we're currently conducting our annual recruitment to open board and commission seats. Advisory boards are involved in everything from the arts to planning policies. Applications will be accepted through the month of January. Interviews will follow in the February-March timeframe with appointments in April. Terms begin in May. For more information, contact the city's clerk's office or, again, the city's website at issaquahwa.gov. And that concludes the mayor's report for this evening. Moving now to the consent calendar. Have the payables and payroll been reviewed?
They have.
They have.
And what is the council's pleasure on the consent calendar? Councilmember Winterstein.
I move that we adopt the consent calendar as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none then, all those in favor of approving the consent calendar as submitted, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion carries unanimously. Moving to regular business, there are no items under regular business for this evening. Next, for the good of the order, any council members present that have a report under good of the order? Councilmember Martz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Suburban Cities Association, Sound Cities Association Public Interest Group will be meeting on Wednesday, January 8th, and we have an item not for a final decision, but for consideration for action the following month, and I thought I would mention it to the council to see if there was any initial thoughts towards it. And it reads to a potential future action to bring the following policy position back for adoption at the next PIC meeting. In order to address the critical transportation needs facing King County and cities throughout the county, the Sound Cities Association supports the formation of a countywide Transportation Benefits District, TBD, with 60% of the funds going to Metro for transit funding and 40% being distributed to the county and cities based on population for other transportation needs, including local roads, sidewalks, bike paths, additional transit, and other transportation purposes as determined by the particular needs of the local jurisdiction. In order to ensure that dollars can be used as effectively and efficiently as possible to address the pressing transportation needs of each individual jurisdiction and to avoid the creation of additional burdensome bureaucracies, the funding raised should be provided to local jurisdictions through a direct distribution. And so the question would be, are there any thoughts on this or any potential modifications to the wording of that we might want to see as PIC moves forward with this issue?
Councilmember Winterstein, followed by Councilmember Scher.
Thank you. So do we know, so a transportation benefit district or TBD, if they did one countywide, it's the way you read that, I interpreted it to mean that it would apply to us inside, it would cover our citizens as well. So we, citizens of Issaquah, would cover it. So that's interesting. Does that preclude the city of Issaquah from creating its own within that? Can you have a district within a district? And not that I'm saying we want to do that. I just want to know what kind of, where would that leave us?
That would be a good question that I would ask and bring back to the council.
Do you happen to know?
I don't believe so.
All right, thank you.
Councilmember Sheriff.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a question about the proposed action. Would this be a property tax or sales tax TBD?
I'm sorry, because this is a new item coming, it's going to get its first reading at this meeting. I don't have the answer off the top of my head.
And I raise the question because there is obviously a very significant difference in the taxing structure as well as the impact on the public when we consider where the burdens of a TBD would squarely lie if it were to be a countywide sales tax versus a property tax. And so I believe state law allows for both types of taxing districts. And the boundaries wouldn't make a difference in this situation because it would be countywide. The other comment I would make is, things are still in flux in Olympia, and it might be premature to consider a TBD as a funding option until the transportation issues which are being debated in the legislature have reached some conclusion, because if there is a way to provide funding, whether that be a local option or other considerations in Olympia, then that may preclude the need for raising taxes on a countywide basis. So before I would want to see SCA adopt a policy position on behalf of the representative cities of SCA, I think it would behoove the organization to wait until things are a little more settled in Olympia.
Got you. I think the language on this is partially, I think there's a feeling that Olympia might appreciate some points of view from some of the other stakeholders in the area. So there's a sense that they've been struggling with some of these issues, and that this would be helpful. It would be a sales tax. I checked it, not a property tax.
Other questions or comments? Councilmember Winterstein.
Thank you. So a benefit district can be created by one of two ways. Is it correct? Can the controlling authority create one like we could in the council, or it can be a vote of the citizens? Mm-hmm. Is there an indication in there which method they prefer?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, so my initial reaction is I'm not comfortable with this idea. I think it limits our options. Not that we are currently planning anything, but also the idea if it were to go forward, boy, I would expect a vote of the people.
I'm sorry, I do have additional information. It does look, for the county to form a TBD and to enact it requires voter approval.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So it sounds like there are a number of questions that have been raised. There's a thirst for information, and so that can be shared electronically so that we can become a little bit more knowledgeable about what's being proposed. And since it's will be discussed on January the 8th at the Public Information Committee, you will probably have additional information and some insights of what some of the concerns are, and we can take that up at our next meeting.
Yes, I will. I look forward to getting that information, and of course, full action wouldn't be taken until February, so we have some time to review this.
Great. Thanks for bringing that up. Anything else under good of the order? Seeing none, then. Before we move into executive session, I would like to clarify the RCW for the executive session. It should read 42.30.110 paren 1 paren I. And so with that, we are adjourned into executive session. Action most likely will be taken following the executive session.
Oh, your computer didn't work.
We are moving out of executive session at 8:49 and into regular session. Councilmember Winterstein.
Thank you, Mayor Butler. I would like to make a motion to authorize the administration to enter into a settlement on the NPDES Phase 2 permit as outlined in executive session.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Are you ready to vote on this? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, that motion carries unanimously. Is there any other business to come before the council this evening? If not, we are adjourned.